Hey guys, welcome back. You know what sucks? Being broke. Being broke sucks. And I talk to a lot of people that are, that either want to get on with core, want to get into the Agoge, and they're like, man, I don't even have a job. I just lost a job. I'm broke. I'm homeless, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I can't, I'm frustrated. I can't make ends meet, and here I am as a man, and I'm frustrated. I get it. Gentlemen, there is a big difference between being broke and being poor, okay? I have never been poor. Poor is a state of mind. Being broke is something that's in your bank account. The difference is you can recover fairly easy from being broke. If I'm broke, if I lost everything today, I could walk my ass down to McDonald's and get a job. What are they paying? Like $20 an hour now? Like McDonald's flipping burgers, something crazy. So I walk my ass to McDonald's and I'm flipping burgers for $20 an hour. Boom, I'm not broke anymore. Maybe I'm not making as great money. Maybe I'm not doing as good as I could be, but I'm better than I was doing. I went from $0 to $20 an hour flipping burgers at McDonald's. But poor is in a mindset that just it's much more difficult to be broke. That's something that sticks a lot harder. And it's almost something that can't be fixed. It can be fixed, but it is a hard mental shift to fix being poor. Can be done, but it's more difficult. Broke, that's just a problem that needs to be solved with time and energy. So those are the two differences. Poor is up here, broke is in your wallet. All right? It's okay to be broke because you can fix that. Being poor, none of us should allow to be poor. That is a life of scarcity versus a life of abundance. And I say I was never poor because I look at, we worked hard. My family worked hard. We had a lot of love in the family, maybe even a lot of dysfunction, but we had a lot of deep love for each other. And I felt very loved as a kid growing up from, my aunt, my cousins, my grandparents, my mom. There's a lot of love in the family. And we holidays were a big deal. Get-togethers were a big deal. We just didn't have any money. But that's not what it was about. And that's the reason why I say I don't think I was ever truly, really poor. Now, I had some limiting belief issues, which I'll break down here in a second. And this is where the relationship with money comes into play. Your relationship with money and what you think of money as it is. Now, I'll tell you this. If you are broke, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, that is the system that we live in that has been a plan. It is a planned, an orchestrated plan for you to live paycheck to paycheck. You ever notice how it's just, you make just enough. You go to this job for a certain amount of hours, they pay you just enough so you can go home, pay your rent, pay your mortgage, feed your kids, pay for your car, your insurance, and you're out of money by the next paycheck. Keeps you coming back. The tax machine, the tax man keep cometh. He takes his portion every year, right? If you want to, you got to register your vehicle, there's a tax there. You want to pay, you drive down the road, there's a tax. You want to do something else, there's always a tax, right? It seems like there's a tax for everything. Taxes getting taxed, there's just this whole snowball effect. But it's just like it seems like you ever can't get ahead. Well, that's the opposition, ladies and gentlemen, because they got you right where they want you. Just like the other videos I make about being, physically unfit and being fat and eating unhealthy food. It is a way to control, because if you are independently wealthy, right? I'm not even saying wealthy. If you just have money, if you have assets, And the system, the government, somebody comes in and says, hey, you have to do this to get your paycheck. If you're living a paycheck to paycheck, you fold, right? Because you got mouths to feed. You're not free. You're a slave to the system that you've been put in. That's difficult. It's a difficult position. Hey, get this jab. Or you don't have a job anymore. Hey, say this thing. Believe this thing. Wear this bracelet. And if you don't work here. If you don't, you can't buy groceries here. If you don't, you can't drive your car, which means you can't drive to work. If you don't, your kids can't go to school. That means you're not truly free, right? You are now a slave to whatever system that you're in. But if we can transcend that, if we can break that cycle, well, now we're truly free, right? Now we can make the decisions that are best interests of us and ours. So the first thing is this: you have to change your relationship with money. Money is nothing but a tool. That's it. It's a tool. Does it make you happy? Not really. It can solve a lot of problems that can make you happy, but that's what it is. And for me, I believed, this is a true story, I believed that I could make money. I could be successful. I just had to work 10 times harder than everyone else around me. I had to work 10 times. I could achieve the same level of money, the same level of success than all my friends, but it's going to take me, I had to work 10 times harder than everyone else to make that a reality. You know what I did? I manifested that to be true. I manifested that reality. It was 10 times harder because I said it constantly. I spoke it into existence. So if you have to watch the things that you're saying, because whatever you are saying, you are manifesting those to be true. You are creating your own hardships. You're creating your own realities. And once I let go of that limiting belief and I focused on the process, everything else became just come to me. Opportunities came, money came. It was like it just landed in my bank account. Realistically, I started getting raises. I make more money now than I ever have in my entire life, and it's only increasing day by day. You know what's crazy is I try less. I just focus on the work. I don't really worry about the money. I just focus on that. But then I take the money and I make it work for myself, which is the next, it's the next step. So what do you got to do? Nick, you don't understand. I have this thing. I got this. Well, let's analyze your life. I'm not saying downsize, but do you need to have all the things that you have? If you're living paycheck to paycheck, your first step is to fix that situation, because now you are a slave to the system. So my whole mission would just be like, how do I get out from being paycheck to paycheck? Do I need to downsize my car? Do I need a $70,000 car? Do I need this kind of car? Can I drive a $3,000 beater for the next year and pocket $600 a month? Pay off some bills, do this, get ahead. I mean, you're talking to a guy who filed bankruptcy. In 2016, I filed bankruptcy. Got out of divorce, got left with a lot of stuff that I didn't know about. Boom, stuck. Right in the height of building my businesses, really when my businesses started to take off, it's like, shit, man, it was the worst time ever. I recovered quite quickly, actually. So there you have it. No more ego, no more pride. What does it take to get the work done? So what did I do? I built a skill set. I figured out what I was good at, and I went all in on that. So I challenge you to find a skill set that's marketable and go all in. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm telling you to find something that you're passionate about and become a master at it. Become a master at this one thing that's marketable that you can charge for. Because if people have a problem, and you have the solution, they'll pay you for that solution. People have problems. I have solutions. People pay me for those solutions. The bigger the problem, the more money I can charge, because the more complex of the solution, right? So that's what it comes down to, guys. You have to apply yourself and invest in yourself. Somebody says, hey, Nick, I have $10,000. Where should I invest? Yourself. Because $10,000 is chump change. It really is. You put $10,000 at some small interest rate, you're not going to make shit for a long period of time. But if you take that $10,000 and you gave it to me and I coached you for a long period of time, you're going to afford to 5 to 10x that money. Next thing you know, you took $10,000 and you made over 100 grand. If I said, hey, if you give me 10 grand, if I give me 10 grand, you're going to turn that 10 grand into 100 grand. Would you say yes? Of course you would. But the reality is you're investing in yourself. It's not a product. It's you. So first step, invest in yourself. After that, now you can look at everything. I had a good friend that said it's a lot easier to make 10,000 than it is to save 10,000. If I told you right now, I said, hey, Jim Bob, I want you to save 10 grand. Most people will say like, oh, fuck, man. Mario, if I told you, hey, I want you to save 10 grand in the next 2 months.
It's going to take a lot.
But if I told you, hey, I got this idea, I think we can make 10 grand in 2 months. That's a lot easier, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a lot, but that's a mindset.
It sounds better too.
It sounds better, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I'm not gonna change my lifestyle. I just want to make more. I just need to make more money. So it's a lot easier to actually go out there and hustle and make $10,000. And if you're a family man, I put a gun to your fucking head and I said, you got 30 days to get me $10,000, or I'm killing you and your whole family. You're gonna figure that shit out. Well, have that mentality. There's a gun to your head. You got to make 10 grand. You got to make $300 extra a week. Whatever it is, set the goal and go after and get it. There's guys on there right now. I'm talking to a guy who makes $100,000 a year on the side doing Uber down in Florida. 100 grand a year on the side doing Uber. I got a guy making 8 grand a month selling lined paper, like notebooks like this, with lined sheet paper. There's nothing in it. It's like a notebook with lined sheet paper, and he designs the cover, makes them like pretty covers. Mm-hmm. Sells them on Amazon. He makes 8 grand cash a month. There's so many different things that you can do. But this is what happens. You get stuck in this rhythmic life of like, I work from this to this and I'm stuck here. Well, what are you doing to get a raise? What are you doing to get a side hustle? If you're not where you want to be, then you have to change something. Drive Uber, do DoorDash, do Instacart. Offer your services online. Think like an immigrant. Think like an immigrant. Immigrants come here with nothing in their nothing. My grandfather came here in the 70s. He didn't have shit. He knew how to swing a hammer. Guess what he did? He made it happen. Ended up buying a house for his family. Not a big house, small house for his family, for my dad and my aunt, my grandmother. By swinging a hammer. Didn't even speak the language. But he didn't come here thinking, oh, I deserve this. I deserve that. He's like, what do I got to do to get the job done? What do I got to do to put food on the table, gas in the car, get my kids to school, clothe my kids, and make it happen? So he would do whatever he had to do. And by doing that, he leveled up and leveled up, gave my father an opportunity, gave my aunt an opportunity, truly gave me the opportunity to be born in America, to where I can just work my ass off and build a fucking empire that I have. And I am not better than any one of you. I just changed my mindset. Being broke, you can recover from. Being poor, that's much difficult. Guys, I hope this helped you. We can get a lot more into this. This is the kind of stuff that we talk about in the Agoge, but we also talk about how. We talk about budgeting. We talk about emergency funds. We talk about how to do side hustles, real estate, etc. All the different things that we talk about on just how to change your life. So if that interests you, click the link below. Let's talk to me about getting in the Agoge. We can have one-on-one, in-depth conversations there. Other than that, guys, never quit, never surrender, always forward. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.